First graders, it is Friday. Happy Friday. You might notice that I'm sitting somewhere different. Last night while I was recording the Zoom, I was like, you know what? I should put my phone on the tripod that I'm using for my Zoom. So I did. So here I am. Yeah, we're going to jump right into it. Chapter 6. We're going to finish this book up. Jamie and Tom waved the burning branches as hard as they could, but the Edmontosauruses were surging on, pounding away on all fours. They were so close. The boys could see their eyes wide with fear and their nostrils flaring with panic. "It's not working," cried Tom. "We can't give up," Jamie shouted. The stampeding herd was only yards away now. Was it too late? Were they all going to plunge into the crater? "Stop!" Jamie and Tom bellowed desperately. "Stop!" At the last minute, the eddies seemed to notice the fire. The leading dinosaurs reared up in terror and swerved away from the geyser pit. The rest of the herd followed, thundering past, throwing dust into the boys' faces. "We saved them!" yelled Tom. Gronk Gronk, Wanna appeared and scampered over. "I agree, Wanna," Jamie said. "That was close." "Those eddies used all four legs to gallop," said Tom. "No wonder they were moving so fast." "That's what we'd better do," said Jamie, looking at his watch, "if we're going to be on time for the grand opening." They hurried back toward the jungle. Wanna was his old self, scurrying between them, running ahead and grunting happily all the time. Here's a picture from the last page. "At least we got to see a real meteorite," said Jamie. "And you got your wish, Tom. You wanted to see an Edmontosaurus close up, remember?" "I didn't mean that close," Tom grinned. They climbed back up to Ginkgo Hill. Wanna waggled his tail in delight as they went. "He knows there'll be a real nice treat waiting for him," Tom added. When they reached the cave, they took one more look out over Dino World. A herd of Triceratops was grazing by the lagoon, and Hadrosauruses were plodding down to the river by Fang Rock. Pterosaurus lazily circled in the air. They all seemed to know that the danger was over. "We can't forget to change our map when we get back," said Tom. "The geysers are gone, and there's that new crater. And the eddies' trees, of course." Pictures. All right. Jamie took the binoculars and focused on the eddies' trees, which were still burning. "I hope the fire doesn't spread, or we'll be making even more changes." "I don't think it will," said Tom. "Look away in the distance. Storm clouds were gathering over the mountains. The rain will soon put out the fire." The boys hurried into the cave and Wanna followed. Grunk Grunk. Wanna stared at them sadly for a moment, as if he didn't want them to go. "Don't worry, Wanna," Tom said, patting him on the hard head. "We'll be back soon." Jamie gave him the last of the ginkgos, and Wanna cheered up, gobbling up the treats. Jamie and Tom waved goodbye and stepped backward into the dinosaur footprints. They found themselves back in Dinosaur Cove. They scrambled down to the beach. Then Tom stopped. "We can't go to the grand opening like this. We're filthy." "You're right. Grandpa will have a fit," said Jamie. "And I don't know what Dad will do. Probably explode." "Quick," said Tom. "We can wash ourselves off in the sea." They hurriedly scrubbed the grime off their arms, legs, and faces and made a dash for the lighthouse. The distant church clock was striking 1 o'clock. Picture. Excuse me. My allergies are rough this morning. I actually woke up sneezing this morning from my allergies. My eyes are kind of itchy too. I'm trying my hardest not to rub them because they'll get all swollen. It looked as if the whole village had come to the grand opening, and crowds of tourists too. A line stretched down the path. "Our clothes will have to do," muttered Jamie as they made their way past the line of people. We've got no more time. Hopefully everyone will be too busy looking at the museum to notice. Then they heard a loud voice. That Edmontosaurus would be an easy target. A 15-year-old boy was looking at a poster for the museum showing the Eddie model. He seemed to be retelling his friends about all the dinosaurs. They were slow plotters, believe me. Anything could eat them if they wanted, but they couldn't run. Are you sure? His friend asked. Of course I'm sure, said the boy. I know everything there is to know about dinosaurs. Tom looked at Jamie. You tell him, he whispered. Excuse me, Jamie said politely, but the Edmontosaurus could get up quite a speed by running on all four legs. It wasn't always an easy target. How do you know? Demanded the boy. I've seen... Jamie stopped himself quickly. I've seen the Edmontosaurus skeleton inside. Have a look when you go in. Its front limbs were definitely long enough to run on. Good save, Jamie. Here he is talking to the boy. The boy stared at him open-mouthed. Tom saw Jamie's grandfather waving them over. The boys marched up to the front of the crowd and up onto the little stage to stand with Jamie's dad. Welcome to the Dinosaur Cove Museum, Mr. Morgan began. The most magical dinosaur place in the whole world. Jamie smiled a huge smile. He was proud of his dad's new museum, but it was nothing compared to Dino World. The second most magical place, Jamie whispered to Tom. Picture? There's the crowd. And that concludes Stampede of the Edmontosaurus. That was a good book. It went by fast. Just looking at... Oh, this is cool. There's a Stegosaurus in the back. It says, come and meet me in a Jurassic adventure. Pretty sweet. Here's a picture of some of the other books in the back. You can see the dinosaurs. Pretty cool. All right. Well, first graders, if you tuned into the Zoom meeting last night, thank you. That was fun. I appreciated everyone that participated. Even if you were nervous, I'm glad you were there, and I'm glad you were drawing. And yeah, we were all glad to see each other, I can tell. Yeah, and I even saw some parents. That's awesome. They're there to help you out. That's great. What do I have planned for the weekend? I'm going to do some more mountain biking. Definitely. I've got a few weeds to pull, but I'm caught up on it, so as long as I pull weeds every couple days, I'm good. Let's see. Barbecue. I didn't barbecue this week. I barbecued last weekend, but that was it. So I'll be barbecuing this weekend. Not sure what day. Probably the warmest day. I'm going to hang out with Darby, my dog. Darby, come here. Come here. She's being tired and stubborn. Oh, she's coming. She had to grunt a couple times getting up, though. Come here. Come here, Darby. Come here. Come here. Come here. There she is. Let's get a better look at her. Darby. What are you going to do this weekend, huh? What are you going to do? Huh? She might not look like it, but she's 100 pounds. She's a pretty big girl. You've already seen her if you watch my show and tell video. She likes to chase a laser pointer. So at night, she thinks I have a laser pointer in my hand. When I'm walking around the house, anything that resembles a flashlight, if I just pull something out of my pocket, she'll like look down on the ground. Like, I could probably do it now if I fake pull something out of my pocket. It's kind of teasing, but I'll do it just to show you. Darby. No, she doesn't. She didn't do it that time, did you? You can't be fooled. Did you hear me? Huh? Really? You're just gonna lay down and knock over my tripod practically well, apparently Darby's going to do a lot of napping this weekend. What are you going to do? I'll find out next Thursday if you join our Zoom meeting. Have a good weekend.